It's a beautiful, beautiful day here at the Pocono Raceway as it serves as the home for race number 5 of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. We're still hanging out at some of the bigger racetracks. We went from Talladega just about 2 or 3 weeks ago with Tyler Ferris winding up being the 4th different winner of the season, and now we're once again at a 2.5 mile racetrack at Pocono Raceway where what turn 4? You see it at the top left hand side of your screen. There is no turn 4. We just only have 3 corners at the tricky triangle, all representing 3 different racetracks, 3 different types of banking, so it is going to make for a very wild challenge for these 34 competitors. If you were with us a couple weeks ago at Talladega Super Speedway, the race was won by this man, Tyler Ferris, who led no laps up until the very last one at Talladega. Earlier in that race, he got involved in a little incident with Shawna that ultimately costed him a shot at running with the lead group until a caution came out. It saved his luck, and he managed to stay with the lead pack up until the very last lap, where he made a move to the inside of Bradley Ream and stole it away from the number 13 machine. So, as far as points are concerned, here's a look at your point standings heading into race number 5 of the season. David Byers had everything go right for him at Talladega Super Speedway, and he leads the points by just 1 point over Shawna Martin, who is now in second. Nathan Stapleton falls back to third, but still not too far behind. He's just 2 points back from David Byers. And you have Tyler Ferris, our most recent winner, in 4th. Jimmy Hogan 5th. Ryan Fowler 6th. Addison Jarrell 7th, Carter Joey 8th, Bronson Middick 9th, and Bradley Ream completes the top 10 in the points standings. So race number 5, we're getting closer to the halfway point of the season, and that means intensity is going to start picking up after the 6th race of the season, 2 weeks' time at Michigan International Speedway during Indianapolis 100 week. So that is going to be very interesting to watch. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've already said what I needed to. I think I'm going to hold my peace for this particular section of our broadcast and leave the talking to what's going to happen at trackside. I know I'm kind of sucking right now, and I do apologize for kind of the hiccups in the commentary, but you know what? We're just going to keep on rolling with it. As you see there on the front row, that is the number 19 of Chris Reynolds, and lining up alongside, that is the number 6 of Billy Kidd. Well, here we go, folks. The drivers are strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up, but in order to get these 34 competitors rolling out, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines.
The engines have been fired, pace car is rolling off, and so are these 34 competitors. And as they roll out for their pace laps, here's your starting lineup here in Pocono. The drivers have just taken one to go, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing here at the Pocono Raceway. It's going to be 24 laps of action. Normally here at Pocono, you'd see about 36 to 40 laps of action, but this time it's 24. That was the only other compromisable lap type of distance that I could do. But you see in the front row, that is Chris Reynolds in the number 19 and Billy Kidd in the 6 lined up alongside as they work their way through the tunnel turn. The NAPA 100, that was the name of the race. I completely forgot about the name of the race, so that's what the name of this event is, the NAPA 100. And as they work their way into turn number 3, you see on the front row, as I said, Reynolds, Kidd, row 1, row 2, Joey Miles and Carter Joey. Row 3, points leader David Byers starts in the top 5, Brandon Yodel 6th. And in the 7th, and then row number 4, that's Quentin Moore and Amy Wilderotter in row 5. That is Ronald House and Foster Henderson. Here we go. Green in the air, Pocono. Side by side through the tunnel turn. Everybody going really wide through the corners. They come off of turn number 2. Sideways was the number 99 of Jeffrey Holcomb in the background. But everybody keeps it straight. Here they come through the tunnel turn. Off of turn number 3. Reynolds emerges out front. And he's going to be the guy that leads lap number 1 of action here at the Pocono Raceway. Carter Joey underneath of the number 6 of Billy Kidd for the 2nd position. Joey Miles, David Byers there right behind him on the inside as they go into turn number 1. And what we're going to see throughout this entire race is that outside line is going to be the most preferred way to go. It's going to be the strongest way around, the mainly through the first corner. That's just specifically speaking for turn number 1. Now through the tunnel turn, once again, everybody makes it out okay. Looked like everybody was just sliding really wide through the corner, but so far things have just been clean and green, and they're going to continue to be clean and green throughout this 2nd lap. 2 laps complete. Side by side of the line, it was Billy Kidd that led lap number 2. How about Brandon Yodel in the 05 going to make it 3 wide now for the 2nd position? But that inside line, with there's very, very little grip and down on the bottom. I can't even speak, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. I'm trying the very best that I can here. Through the tunnel turn, Reynolds makes contact with Carter Joey. Billy Kidd trying to get away with the lead. And now Joey Miles ducks to the inside of Brandon Yodel in the 05. That is the battle for... Looks like that is the 4th position. Well, now 5th. Joey Miles is going to end up taking that one. Foster Henderson in the number 15. Right alongside David Byers in the number 1. That is our points leader coming into this race. He leads just by 1 point over Shawna Martin and Nathan Stapleton. So let's see where our 2nd and 3rd place are in the points. Well, 2nd and 3rd in points. Let's see where they're running right now. Shawna Martin right now is running 31st, well 32nd, and Nathan Stapleton is running 31st. So those two not having themselves a good run in this race. So far everybody has been really, really good about getting through mainly the tunnel turn, and also right here turn number 3, more specifically the tunnel turn. Billy Kidd continuing to dominate early in the going. Remember, he started on the outside of the front row. This is the 2nd race in a row that he started in the front row for this race. And now trying to do something that hasn't been done before in RCOM competition. That's be on the front row 2 races in a row and win in one of them that he's been on the front row. Billy Kidd trying to accomplish a little bit of history in the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. So far, the top 6 have broken away single file, and it's side by side. The 7th position is being contested here. Amy Wilderauer has it. David Byers wants it. Tyler Ferris, our winner from Talladega a few weeks ago, is now starting to creep his way inside of the top 10, trying to get by Foster Henderson in the 15, Ronald House, and Elijah Gordon going at it for position. That is the battle for the 11th spot. And so far, everybody's trying to get into their own little single file groove as they come off of turn number 1. And we're going to have ourselves a battle for the lead. How about this? Carter Joey in the 55. Trying to get up alongside the number 6 of Billy Kidd. Let's see what happens. Getting into turn number 1. Joey slides up the track just a little bit. That's going to open the door for Chris Reynolds in the 19 to make it 3 wide as they go into the turn number 3. Quentin Moore having himself another great run so far in this race. He came into this race dead last in the point standings. Actually, wait. Let me take a look at the standings here real fast. Quentin Moore actually came into this race 32nd in the points. So if he gets more runs like these, and he's gonna he's definitely gonna climb outside of the top 34, basically from positions 31st through the 34th. And that's gonna mean really good things here for Quentin Moore. Right now, hanging out inside of the top 5 for now. Carter Joey has the lead. Billy Kidd wants it right back. The number 5 of Amy Wilderauer now starting to move up inside of the top 5. Getting by Quentin Moore for the 4th position. Brandon Yodel in the number 05 is going to follow. And so far, everybody has been very consistent. They've been very calm and cool and collected. Not a lot of serious activity has happened in this race. So far, everybody has been keeping it safe here in the NAPA 100. But that doesn't mean the racing is just as intense. Let's come back over here. You got Shawna in the 88 going after Mitchell Collins in the 32. Looks like that's the battle for the 17th position. That's mid-pack. So Sean Art is going to get not going to get the spot. He's going to fall right back in line behind Bradley Ream. You got Easton Myers now under fire from Mitchell Collins. Collins is now starting to fall back. And you got Ryan Fowler, our first ever winner in the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. He's lined up alongside Stephen Wallace Jr. That is the battle for the 15th position. Wallace has it. Ryan Fowler wants it back. Keep strolling through the field. There's Allison Rain in the number 7, who took a wild tumble at Talladega a few weeks ago. She's been beat and battered, but her pride and her spirit definitely is the thing that's keeping her going right now. But not having herself a good run here today. She currently finds herself in the 30th position, currently being scored in the 30th position. So things not looking too good here for Allison Rain, but we are closing in on the halfway point of the season. Allison comes into this event 28th in the standings. So, I mean, she could gather up as many points as she can before this race is done and over with. And this race most likely is going to be a sprint race, because everybody's been practically keeping it clean and green. And if this race is clean and green throughout the rest of the way, that's not going to spell good news for these two, Shawna Martin and Nathan Stapleton. They started way in the back, and Stapleton still running inside of the top 30, and Shawna Martin is running 31st right now. Stapleton gets another spot on Chad Myers. That is the move up into the 29th spot. Here comes Shawna Martin. That's the battle to get inside of the 30th position, and we got pit stops taking place. I forgot to mention something about pit stops, but here we go. We got the first group of cars that are in now. That's Carter Joey in the 55, Billy Kidd, also Amy Wilderauer, Chris Reynolds, David Byers, our points leader. And we got a few others on pit road. So that means Quentin Moore is going to have control of this thing. But eventually, he and the rest of this group will have to come down pit road. So this race may turn into a fuel mileage race. So let's see what happens here. Coming down the short straightaway from turn 2 down now into turn number 3. Let's see what happens. Quentin Moore stays out on track. Stephen Wallace Jr. peels off along with Sean Ard, Val Moscow, Allison Rain, Shawna Martin. The 90 of Blaze Aitken and Steven Alexander, our Phoenix winner. And Carter Joey's gonna get out. Gonna get out first. Amy Wilderauer emerges in the second position. Billy Kidd comes out third. David Byers fourth. Brandon Yodel came out fifth. That's just from that first group of cars. And Quentin Moore still in control of this thing, but like I said, he's going to have to come down pit road, and if he's going to come down pit road, and most certainly would have to be this time by. See what happens coming off of turn number 3, and that's going to be the case. He is slowing down along with Foster Henderson, Tyler Ferris, Ronald House, Addison Jarrell. There's Bronson Minnick, Elijah Gordon's in, Ryan Fowler, Mitchell Collins, Bradley Ream, Jeffrey Holcomb, Easton Myers, and others on pit road as well. So the lead most likely could go back to Carter Joey. Joey has a pretty huge gap on Amy Wilderauer, who is now going to be under fire eventually here from Billy Kidd in the 6. Sean Ard makes his way to pit road, so that will mean all the cars, every driver has made a round of green flag pit stops. So, oh, crash in the tunnel turn, or just on the short straight. And the caution flag is out. This is going to change the complexion of this race. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And this may also place a handful of drivers. This may place a handful of drivers on the tail end of the lead lap. And the leader is the 77 of Stephen Cologne, but he has to come down pit road. Mitchell Collins. That motor is sour. The motor is sour in the number 32. There is no sound. He might have run that thing dry on gas. But the problem is, he already came in. He already came in behind Bradley Ream. I know that much. But Stephen Cologne is the leader, but he has to come down and pit. So that will mean that Carter Joey is going to reassume the lead. Sean Ard in the 88. That engine has gone silent as he coasts through turn number 2 right onto that little rumble strip. What in the world just happened? What in the world just happened? There's Owen Miles in the 46. Moderate right side damage to the right front, moderate damage to the right front fender, and also to the rear end of his number 46 machine. For the most part, it looks like that he is going to be able to continue, but that damage is going to hinder the speed on that car. Mitchell Collins is going to make it to pit road, and I'm not so sure about Sean Ard's chances of making it to pit road. Most likely is not going to be the case. Nathan Stapleton peeling out, and he's gotten slowed down by Sean Ard. Oh, Nelson Reeves plows right into the back of him. So let's see what happens here. And it looks like Carter Joey, Amy Wilderauer, Billy Kidd, David Byers, got a handful of cars coming back onto pit road. I'm not sure what Nathan Stapleton is doing here. He's shown 26th right now. I think he was one of those drivers that was involved in that Owen Miles incident. And Mitchell Collins has managed to get the car refilled with fuel, refired, and he's going to get sent back out. So good news for him. Sean Ard also has made it to pit road, so thank goodness for that. But in the meantime, so far, I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on, but either way, it's Quentin Moore who's leading the charge here at the Pocono Raceway. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened that caused our first caution of the day here in the NAPA 100 at Pocono. This is just one of those deals of don't drive it into the corner too hard. And part of what played into this incident was the very slick conditions on the racetrack, and this is just a really good prime example of that. Owen Miles sent it into the corner just a little bit too hard. He slid up into the path of Steven Alexander. Both of those drivers went into the wall. Steven Alexander with a lot of right side damage to his AccuDoc Solutions Chevy. And you see the number 46 just shoot across the racetrack. And luckily down into the inside wall. And makes contact with the safer barrier on the inside wall. And luckily, this did not involve anybody else. This was taking place during green flag pit stops where everybody's spread out. So the chances of you getting hit by another driver are relatively low if you're in a condition like this. But however, they are not zero. So that's just something to point out there. This is at speed. Steven Alexander had just gotten back out onto the racetrack, and Owen Miles had already made his pit stop a lap before. Man. Still pretty thankful that this didn't take out anybody else, and this was just practically just a two-car incident. But Joey Miles also just witnessed what happened there, and you see Stephen Colon have to get on the brakes. And remember, Colon, that engine, the engine had run out of sound, so he was just practically coasting to pit road, and fortunately he was able to make it, as you saw during the live action replay, and he's managed to get his 4 tires and got the car filled up with fuel. He's refired, and he's back out there, most likely going to be on the tail end of the lead lap. So the caution flag is out for the very first time. You're riding along with Joey Miles, and as he got a second row seat on what happened to Owen Miles to bring out our first caution of the day here at the Pocono Raceway. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. We're back here at the Pocono Raceway for the NAPA 100, and we are inside of 10 laps to go, 16 laps complete. They'll come back to the start-finish line with 7 to go. And like I said, this is practically, here at Pocono, it's a sprint race, so anything is bound to happen within this brief 24-lapper here at the Pocono Raceway. It is Quentin Moore who is out front with Foster Henderson second, Tyler Ferris third, Stephen Wallace Jr. fourth, Val Mosco fifth, Allison Rain, who is not having herself a good run in this race, now finds herself in the 6th position. Nathan Stapleton, same case for him. He showed up. He is now up into the 7th spot. Addison Jarrell 8th, Bronson Minnick 9th, and Shawna Martin rounds out the top 10. So a lot of those drivers that were in the pits by the time that the caution flag had come out, this had benefited them drastically. And Quentin Moore, who has had himself a terrible, terrible start to the 2021 season, managed to get a third place finish last time out of Talladega. And he's going to lead the field to the green flag to get this party restarted with 7 laps to go. Who is going to emerge victorious within these final 7 laps? What's going to happen within these final 7 laps? Let's find out. Tyler Ferris dives to the inside of the 15 of Foster Henderson. Stephen Wallace Jr. now is under attack from Val Moscow as they dive to the inside, but that extreme high side has been getting some really good runs on the outside, as I mentioned earlier in the race. So that means that bottom line has no grip whatsoever. The top line is the place to go for the most grip. Everybody makes it off of the tunnel turn just fine. And here we go, Foster Henderson to the inside of Quentin Moore to try to take the lead away. As they come off of turn number 3, it's going to be 6 laps of racing to go here at the Pocono Raceway. And right now, the top 8 drivers are all single file. Top 8 drivers all single file. Tyler Ferris dives to the inside. He's trying to get his second win of the season. Here comes Foster Henderson in the 15, trying to take the lead away from Quentin Moore. Moore trying to get himself from the bottom of the point standings to try to get himself to the middle of the top. 3 wide for the lead. 3 abreast. Stephen Wallace Jr. with the gutsy move to the inside through the tunnel turn. And here they come off of turn number 3 to get 5 laps to go. Foster Henderson leading the way. Wallace on the inside. Quentin Moore has lost the lead and second from the outside. And Tyler Ferris is up there in the 4th position. And Henderson is going to get the advantage coming out of turn number 1. Down the long pond straightaway. Quentin Moore now moves back up into 2nd. He's going to try to get the lead back from Foster Henderson. Single file through the corner. Ream. And also Nathan Stapleton making contact. You saw Stephen Alexander and Chad Myers rubbing up against each other as they came off of the tunnel turn. As they come off of turn number 3 once again. 4 to go. Everybody getting pretty dicey and racy here within these final 4 laps. Moore trying to look for a way around him. He's going to try to go to the inside. Pulls up alongside, but the outside, like I said, just too strong. Quentin Moore is still trying, though. He tucks right back in line. Stephen Wallace Jr. in the 9, right now running in the 3rd position. If anything were to happen to Quentin Moore, or anything happen to the front 2, rather. Everybody gets off the tunnel turn okay once again. Everybody now single file. Allison Rain trying to get to the inside of Val Moscow to break into the top 5. Addison Jarrell is right behind her. Jarrell moves back up to the top. And now has company. Rain does to her outside. Addison Jarrell on the outside. Ronald House trying to make something happen on the inside. Quentin Moore trying to pull up alongside Foster Henderson as they hit the back straightaway. The long pond straightaway into the tunnel turn. Tyler Ferris makes a move for the 3rd position. Ferris trying to make something happen. Made a little bit of contact as they came off the tunnel turn. Wallace and Ferris did. And here they come to 2 to go. The race most likely may come down to these 2, Foster Henderson and Quentin Moore. Henderson in the vegan-powered machine, trying to get his first win of the season. So far, it has been a Ford, Chevy kind of season. And Foster Henderson trying to get the first win for Toyota in the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. He's in a really good spot to do it. He pulls out maybe about a car length and a half over Quentin Moore, extending the lead by 2 car lengths. Stephen Wallace Jr. makes a run to the inside. Moscow trying to make something happen as well. Wallace makes contact now with Quentin Moore. They come off the tunnel turn. Everybody makes it out okay. Through turn number 3, they're going to see the white flag when they come down. Foster Henderson has about a quarter of a second lead over second place, which is being contested right now. White flag, one more lap to go here in the NAPA 100. Foster Henderson leads. Will he be leading coming back to the checkered flag? We're just going to have to find that out. Quentin Moore is going to take the second spot back from Stephen Wallace Jr., who loses a lot of time on the bottom. Down the back straightaway one last time. Quentin Moore, if anything's going to happen for him, he's got to make something happen right now. Everybody makes it off the tunnel turn okay for the final time. Here they come into turn number 3. Foster Henderson is going to have no competition. They'll race for second, but coming off the corner, down to the start-finish line, Foster Henderson takes the checkered flag and wins the NAPA 100. How about that? 5 races, 5 different winners. Toyota finally adds on to the wins list. Wow, what a race. What a race. Only one caution, but still, for a 24-lap sprint race here at Pocono Raceway, it actually proved to be pretty good. I will definitely give all these drivers the credit. But Foster Henderson, with his first win of the season, how about that? Quentin Moore, another great run for him. If he continues on, he could probably win at Michigan in 2 weeks' time. Watch as I say that. 2 weeks later, he wins at Michigan. That's actually going to be a pretty interesting coincidence if that were to happen. But man, for the most part, we definitely have had a safe race. It looked like that nobody went out of the race. Nobody smelled what the rock was cooking. So this will be the first race since Daytona. Everybody has managed to finish the event. But at the end of the day, it's Foster Henderson who comes out on top here at the Pocono Raceway. So, it's Foster Henderson who wins at the Pocono Raceway, increasing the streak of different winners to 5. And Toyota finally adds on to the list of drivers that have, or list of manufacturers that have gone to victory lane, sharing the board now with Ford and Chevrolet, who have both gone to victory lane 2 times apiece. Quentin Moore comes home in the second position once again. Like I said earlier, another great run for Quentin Moore. Val Moscow comes home 3rd. Stephen Wallace Jr. 4th. Allison Rain completes the top 5. Great comeback for her. Addison Jarrell will finish 6th. Tyler Ferris 7th. Ronald House 8th. Shawna Martin 9th. And Bronson Minnick completes the top 10. Of the top 3 drivers that are in the point standings, that were in the point standings coming into this race, that was between David Byers, Shawna Martin, and Nathan Stapleton. It looks like Shawna Martin is going to come out with the points lead. Remember, the top 3 were all separated by 1 point apiece. It looks like she might be the points leader, but I could also be wrong as soon as I enter in the point standings. So this is going to be very interesting to see what the first half of the season, how the finish to the first half of the season is going to go down at the Michigan International Speedway. Hopefully you guys can join us for that one. It's going to be fun. It's going to be wild, crazy, and exciting at the Michigan International Speedway because of the fact that we will be racing during Indianapolis 100 week. That's right. We'll be on the same day as the NRLOA. Indiana Bash will also be on the same day as Indianapolis 100 Carb Day. The USA Memorial Race, which will take place at the Flat Rock Speedway, just a few hours up the road, probably a little bit further up north in the state of Michigan, and then we'll be back down to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Coca-Cola 300 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series cars. It is going to be a very, very good week of racing in just 2 weeks' time, and hopefully you guys can join us for that, for those festivities, all throughout Indianapolis 100 week, from practice all the way down to the main event in the Indianapolis 100. So hopefully you guys can tune in as far as RCOM competition to the Michigan International Speedway for the pure Michigan for the pure Michigan 200 at the Michigan International Speedway to wrap up the first half of the season of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. One more time, congratulations to Foster Henderson on getting it done in the NAPA 100. And up next will be your point standings after the 5th race of the season here at the Pocono Raceway. And that about does it for me. I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and we'll see you guys on the very next one.